No, what's up with y'all, man? What it do, man? What's up? It's good to be back, man. It's good to be back. Ooh, it's good to step in front of this thing, man. How y'all doing today? Hope y'all doing good, you know what I'm saying? If you got your mama, call her, check up on her, text her. Got your pops, call them, check up on them. If you don't, talk to them. You know what I'm saying? Look up, talk to them. Ask them how their day was. You feel me? Hopefully they ask you back. Word. Nah. Anyway, so let's get into this video, man. What it do with y'all? What it do, man? Today we're gonna be talking about the 2014 draft. And the reason why I picked this draft in particular to start on, well, for one, because of about 2 videos ago, I was doing research on OBJ, and he's in this draft. And man, you know what I mean? This draft is littered with talent. I mean, everywhere, right? I mean, from round 1, most of it's in round 1, right? Duh. But then there's even some all the way to round 7. You feel me? This is the first draft. You know, I was 11 when this draft happened. You know, so this draft is like really dear to me because it's like the first draft where I got to see these players play a couple years in college. You know, if that makes sense. And I got to actually see film on them. I got to see what was a good pick and what was a bad pick. And this was really around the time where I started to really dive deep into football. I was a football fan, you know, for years and years, but I wasn't a crazy fan until I started getting to this draft work. And it's just cool to have a full circle moment, right? So let's just slide into this thing. This first round consists of Jadeveon Clowney at 1, and Greg Robinson at 2, yeah. Blake Bortles, that's another miss at 3. But then you got Sammy Watkins at number 4. Khalil Mack, number 5. Jake Matthews, number 6. Mike, Mr. 1K Evans at number 7. Anthony Barr at number 9. Eric Ebron at number 10. Taylor Lautner, however you say that boy name, at number 11. OBJ at number 12. Aaron Donald, 13. Kyle Fuller, 14. Ryan Shazier, 15. Zach Martin, 16. CJ Mosley, 17. Then, you know, a couple misses. Then at 20, you got Brandon Cooks, Clinton Dix, Johnny Manziel at 22. D Ford at 23. And, you know, not really too. Then you got Jason Verrett at 25. Deion Buchanan at 27. Shoot, even Kelvin Benjamin at 28. Jimmy Ward at 30. Bradley Roby at 31. And to round out the first round, Teddy freaking Bridgewater. I mean, we could just start. I mean, you just heard that, man. Jadeveon started it off. And then a couple picks later, yeah, Khalil Mack. You know what I'm saying? I mean, granted, you know, Khalil Mack still has been playing pretty good. And Clowney just came off of statistically one of his better years in his career. But let's just be real. At the heights of these guys, bro, nobody wanted to run to their side. You wanted, if that was your quarterback's blind side, you wanted two on that dude. Whether it was Jadeveon or Khalil, man. I mean, whew, this first round has 17 Pro Bowlers, my guy. 17 Pro Bowlers. Some have gone to multiple. You feel me? But at least 17 people in this first round went to at least one. 17 different. And then there was a lot of potentials that really should have, that either A, never just got over that hump, you know, like during their prime. There was, you know, some other people that were just that, you know, amazing that they just really couldn't get that recognition right. Or, you know, if they just never panned out, like a Johnny Manziel, as you can see, that's in this draft, right? And it's like, you know, like Johnny had flashes. There's multiple guys in this draft that if they didn't become a Pro Bowler, then they had insane flashes. You know, there's multiple guys in this draft that had 10+ year, 9+ year careers in the National Football League, which does not happen for one singular draft. I mean, bro, what? Mike Evans? Hello? That's what we're doing? Mike Evans. Okay, cool. So Mike was in here, right? Then you got OBJ. I mean, Aaron Donald. I mean, This first round is just littered, bro, with future Hall of Famers. To me, there's about 5 or 6. Go back and whenever I run through it, go back and look. There's about 5 to 6 Hall of Famers just in the first round of this draft, man. This is nutty, man. And shout out to Aaron Donald for his retirement. I'm going to say that every time he's brought up until the season start. But it's just like, dude, this first round was nutty. 34, you got DeMarcus Lawrence. 35, you got Joel Benatino. You know, you got Derek Carr at 36. Kyle Van Noy at 40. LaMarcus Jr. at 41. Jordan Matthews at 42. I mean, these are dogs. Shoot, even Paul Richardson was decent in his time in the league. Stephen Tuitt. I mean, this is a stacked class. All the way down here at 53, they got Davante Adams. I mean, what? Come on. I mean, these are, Carlos Hyde at 57. I mean, what? Allen Robinson at 61. Jimmy Garoppolo at 62. Jarvis freaking Landry at 63. I mean, these are dogs. We're talking certified animals. Second pick of the second round, DeMarcus Lawrence. You feel me? Few picks later, Derek Carr. Way few more, 10 plus picks later, Davante Adams. I mean, what? I'm just saying, like, these are second round players. That all 3 of those guys, for sure, and maybe DeMarcus Lawrence might end up in the Hall of Fame one day. But for sure, you know what I'm saying? These are second rounders. Like, bro, this does not happen. Like, I'm not trying to overhype this, but this might be one of the best draft classes ever. You got Billy Turner. You know what I'm saying? You still got, dogs, man. Gabe Jackson. You know what I'm saying? I mean, these are animals. You know, even Trey Mason was decent his time in the league. You know, John Brown. I mean, what? Jared McKinnon. I mean, these are Drury Archer. Come on, Drury Archer, man. Y'all might be too young to know Drury. Stop playing. 4th round, come on. Devonta Freeman. Like, what are we talking about here? This was a stacked class, man. Logan Thomas. Come on. Drafted at QB, converted to tight end. Come on. DeAnthony Thomas. Come on. Like, this, oh my goodness, man. These are freaking animals, dude. Freaking animals. And then, we can just keep it going. Let's just keep it all going. I mean, shoot. Tevin Smith, dog. You know what I'm saying? Corey Linsley, dog. AJ McCown, not dog, but still in the league 10 years later. You know what I'm saying? You'll take those all day long. And that's a 5th round draft pick, you know? Oh my freaking goodness here. And then this was during that, like, era of, like, we didn't really know what we wanted in a football player. Like, now, with the, with advanced stats and next-gen technology, all that crazy stuff, they know exactly what they're looking for, the exact play type. They even know you all the way down to your muscle fibers. They want this many fast twitch fibers worked up this much. Crazy stuff nowadays, right? But this was back whenever, just 10 years ago, but this was back whenever, like, they were still taking chances, and it was a lot of opportunity-based drafts, right? Because, Drury Archer went in the 3rd round. Whenever a lot of people thought he probably even should have went before that, and then some thought he should have went after that, right? But I was one of the people, granted, as an 11-year-old, I was one of the people who thought he was good. The 3rd round was really good for him. That was actually a steal for him. I thought he was a late 2nd guy, but, whatever. Hindsight, it's 2020, because really he was, a 7th round, 6th round guy, sad to say, but, it is what it is. This draft is just littered with stuff, man. All throughout this draft, man. It's just studs. You even have starters in this draft that, Well, you even have players in this draft, excuse me, that were starters. Maybe they not Pro Bowlers, but they were still, starter quality and, just frankly dogs in this league. Just never hit that Pro Bowl, extra line. You feel me? But still, bro, you're a starter in the National Football League. Only a couple people in the history of the world can say that, right? And then, like I was just saying, this was still that era of changing. Like, this was like one of the biggest era of changing positions, bro. Like, you had quarterbacks switching to tight end and Logan Thomas, you know what I'm saying? And then, like, I mean, this is crazy. This is around the era of Edelman switching, from quarterback to receiver. I mean, a lot of people were switching. I hate to say positions, but yeah, they were switching positions because they knew that they were football players. They just didn't know, you feel me, where they were gonna play in the National Football League. And in the National Football League, sometimes it took a year or two, and some of these guys it took 7 years, right? But they ended up finding their spot and their niche, and they flourished off of that. And there's just so many throughout this draft, and I'm only talking 4 rounds deep. I haven't even gotten to the 6th, 7th, 8th yet. Not 8th, what? And then in the 7th round, nothing really crazy going on. But the 7th round, what do you expect? The 6th round ain't really have nothing. But the 7th produced a little bit, and Shelby Harris, Charles Leno, and Terrence Mitchell. I mean, these are quality people who had multiple seasons, almost decades, some decade plus in this league, and you'll take that. We have people that are like 10-year vets, in these later rounds, you feel me? Shelby Harris went in the 7th round, and he's still in the league now. This was 2014. Most 7th round picks, if you were picked in the 7th round at any time throughout the NFL history, 2 years max, bro. You got 2 years in the league max. I'm just being honest, unless your name is Brock Purdy. Yeah, no. Yeah. But anybody else, yeah, they got a short lifespan. And just in total, this draft was just crazy for me. I remember being an 11-year-old kid, and watching this draft live, and seeing all of this stuff, and I truly believe this maybe another year or two later also, but for sure, I want to say 2014 was the last NFL draft with like traditional busts, right? Like a traditional bust. And I get it, we're still gonna get far and few between, bro. No shots and no hate, but he's about to catch a stray. Like, obviously a few years later, Josh Rosen, I'm sorry, bro, but he was drafted, and he was definitely a bust. You know what I'm saying? So it was still happening, but it like dropped off of a cliff. The amount of busts for, every draft class before this was, always up here, is always potential in, people being a bust, right? And then, but then, as like now, this 2024 draft, I don't know too many guys that will be a bust. You feel me? Last year's draft, there really wasn't too many busts. People are going to say Bryce Young was this and that and the third. Bryce Young is going to be a dog in this league. You heard it here, bro. It is what it is, And I don't know. It's just the word bust gets thrown around a lot now. Whenever really they kind of died off in 2014. Anyway, man, my inner child loved this video, but it gotta come to an end sometime. You feel me? So I appreciate y'all for watching, man. I haven't said this yet, but please, please, please like, comment, subscribe. I'm gonna be back tomorrow with it. So just, come check your boy out. Tell a friend, tell a friend, tell a friend. Don't take nothing to share a video or two. You know what I'm saying? We out, man. It's all love, always and forever.